What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G. Matthews, break down all the original content you watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the August 16th, 2021 edition of Raw Talk. So a notable change in host this week. Usually it's Kayla Braxton and Matt Camp, who I think have been doing it since they switched over to the studio format about a month ago, with Kevin Patrick and Matt Camp usually doing Talking Smack or Peter Rosenberg or whatever. No Kayla Braxton this week. Don't know if that's a permanent change or if they're just trying something new out. But instead of Kayla Braxton with Matt Camp, instead with Matt Camp was Scott Stanford. Now, I have not seen Scott Stanford on a show like this in a long time. If you were like me and were watching Superstars 10, 11 years ago, like literally a decade ago, I remember when he was doing Raw and Superstars with CM Punk. That's how far back we're going here, when Punk was on commentary for a short period in late 2010. He hasn't done like anything like this in a very long time. I think he was on the pre-show for a while. He was doing like the Raw pre-shows, I think on the network. And he's obviously still with the company, but he's been doing more like pay-per-view previews or like on-demand I don't know. He was doing something with the company either on the network or in a different capacity. He was on Raw Talk this week. I'm a big Scott Stanford guy. He's not the most exciting dude out there, but he's very competent at his job. He's very good, and I thought he did a good job this week alongside Matt Camp. I did miss Kayla, though, I will admit, but Scott Stanford was a suitable replacement in my opinion. So to open the episode, they recap the Goldberg and Bobby Lashley face-off that we literally saw, if you watched this live, mere minutes earlier on Raw itself. They literally recapped the whole thing and replayed the whole thing in its entirety, which was ridiculous. Matt Camp thinks that Goldberg has to beat Lashley. He has to beat him down in a matter of minutes. Got to keep it short and sweet, otherwise Lashley might get the better of Goldberg, as McIntyre did in the Rumble. Back at the Rumble in January, and McIntyre beat him in a matter of minutes, so that's what he says that Goldberg's strategy should be. Stanford says that Mahal has got to go out it alone now at SummerSlam. They transition over to McIntyre beating Veer and Shanky in a 2-on-1 handicap match on Raw, again in a mere matter of minutes. Who gives a fuck about this feud? Who cares? Stanford says that Cross is still mad at Jeff Hardy, for how he beat him in his debut a few weeks ago. At this point, who the hell could possibly care? Who gives a shit about any of this? With Cross and with Hardy, who gives a fuck at this point? And I like both guys, but the feud means absolutely nothing. And they also recap the reunion, that's what I was going to say, the reunion of RK Bro on Monday Night Raw this week, and them challenging AJ Styles and Omos for the Raw Tag Team titles this Saturday at SummerSlam. We hear from Riddle, who recaps his loss to AJ Styles. Earlier on in the evening, he got distracted by Omos, and that was what led to AJ picking up the victory. And he said that his mom gave him some key advice years ago to not give up on relationships. And that's why he didn't give up on RK Bro, and he kept, pushing him and prodding him to accept his invitation to team with him. And then he saved Randy Orton like a stallion, he said, earlier on in the show on Raw, or closer to the end after Orton beat Omos by disqualification. And that was what led to the official reunion of RK Bro on Raw this week. As far as his prediction for SummerSlam is that he and Orton will become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. And then he's going to do the Orton pose at the end of the match as the Raw Tag Team Champions. So there's the bold prediction from Riddle come Saturday. Unfortunately, they then proceed to replay the entire interaction between Eva Marie and Doudrop on Raw this week, which was fucking horrendous. The whole Lily shit was terrible. Even Matt Camp, I don't know if he was joking or the fact they even get paid to talk about this shit is just mind-blowing to me. But Matt Camp literally had said that maybe Alexa Bliss will use Lily to her advantage on Sunday. Doudrop has Eva Marie in her corner. Or rather, Eva Marie has Doudrop in her corner because it's Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. And then Alexa Bliss might have Lily in her corner. God, this shit is terrible. They recap Priest beating Miz for the millionth fucking time on the show. Matt Camp predicts that Priest and Sheamus will be the most hard-hitting match at SummerSlam. Not really that bold of a prediction, but it probably is true. We hear from Priest, who calls Sheamus all talk, and he likes to talk a lot, really no action, and Priest is going to let his actions do the talking for him come SummerSlam when he beats him for the United States Championship. And as far as what he hopes to accomplish by winning the championship on Saturday, he wants to let his name live on forever. And he will allow that to happen by becoming the new United States champion this weekend. And Matt Camp says that Sheamus could use his mask as an advantage to his advantage in the match on Sunday. I keep saying Sunday. I'm so used to Sunday pay-per-views. Use the mask to his advantage on Saturday and maybe use that to cheat to win, but we'll see. They recapped the women's tag team match that saw Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax beat Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley in tag team action, with Charlotte pinning Rhea. Not my favorite finish, but it is what it is. We hear from Nikki Ash, I almost said Nikki Cross. She says that every superhero needs their moment. And she had to stand up for herself on Raw, and she has the most powerful, I wrote here, I don't know why I wrote HEAR, most powerful something. I don't know what she was talking about. I messed my notes up here, so I'm not exactly sure what she said. But she did vow to leave SummerSlam as champion, and she is looking forward to seeing her fans in person come SummerSlam on Saturday. So, short, sweet stuff from Nikki Ash. You know, I like Nikki Ash. I talked to her for an interview here on the channel last week. The dialogue in her promos is complete garbage. And this wasn't all that great, but it was a bit better than what we've been hearing on Raw recently, so for whatever it's worth, it was fine. And then at the very end here, Matt Camp says that she needs to be feisty come Saturday. Nikki Ash, that is, in order to retain her championship. And he believes that she can get the job done. So that was Raw Talk in a nutshell for August 16, 2021. Thank you guys for checking out my review. A little bit later on here today, went up a little bit later than I was hoping, but thank you nonetheless for checking out the video. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content, such as exclusive interviews, including one that dropped earlier today with the #1 contender to the WWE Championship himself, Goldberg. WWE Hall of Famer, former multi-time WCW and WWE World Champion. Just got done talking about him here on Raw Talk. I spoke to Goldberg late last week on Friday. Interview went up today on Bleacher Report in article form and in audio form right here in the channel. So if you haven't already, check that out. It's a great interview. I thought Bill was great. He's a very cool guy. So check out that chat when you get a chance. And stay tuned for more interviews coming here to the channel in the days to come for more exclusive content you won't hear or see anywhere else. And be sure to hit that bell button as well to be notified every time a new video goes up. Have an awesome one, guys. Enjoy SummerSlam week. It's going to be a busy one. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.